Hello everyone, Gamereactor is here at Paris Games Week and we are taking a look at Alienation, and I'm doing so with two of the people from Housemarque, Tommaso de Benetti and Mikael Haveri. Thank you so much for joining us here. We're taking a look at Alienation here, and I've been playing a lot of Housemarque titles, and when I played the demo here on the show floor quickly, I thought that it looked like sort of the fixed angle perspective from Dead Nation mixed with the colorful action and chaos from the Resogun and Super Stardust games. Maybe you can elaborate a bit on that. What kind of game is this for Housemarque to make?
Yeah, this is a very kick-ass type. Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. That's a good assessment. It has had a lot of influences from Dead Nation. It's also up to 4 players online co-op. It's really easy to get into, so if Tommaso's playing, I can just drop into his game or go to somebody else's game, so it's really drop in, drop out. And what's new for a Housemarque game is it has a really intricate loot system. So you get to upgrade gear, you get to really get it deep into getting different weapons. There's 6 or 7 different weapon types. Within that there are a lot of, different rarities, and it's a bit of like some other games from the top-down perspective. But other than that, it's explosive, action-packed co-op.
Maybe when it comes to the destruction, there are some similarities with Resogun, but of course the graphic is not using voxels. And for the type of gameplay, we're looking more at games like maybe Destiny or Diablo. So there's going to be some new things that people have not experienced in Housemarque games before.
So one of the things that's been really been the focus in some of the preview material is the dynamic between collaborating with other players and going rogue. Maybe you can explain some more about what that means.
Yeah, so we're really focusing on the multiplayer aspect of it. Going rogue is something that we're still looking into, but it's basically it's a very collaborative effort. So you have a lot of end game things that are really, let's say, long term, and it has
I think that the idea is that when you finish the game is not finished. There's a lot more to do after you finish the campaign.
Right.
And I would like to make this clear because some people asked us that is this even a single player game? Like, you can play it single player, but of course it's better with friends, like pretty much everything.
Right. And there's some things that we don't want to talk about too much yet, but we're focusing on cooperation mostly.
Okay. So you mentioned, briefly mentioned the loot system, or how about customizing gear? So a lot of players have been really, I think, eagerly anticipating how these loot systems and how these customizing and upgrading of the gear is going to work, and how that's going to prolong the experience, as you said, extend throughout the single-player campaign. Maybe you can elaborate a bit on what kind of customization we're looking at here.
We're looking mostly at weapon customization through pickups, and we also have a level-based, let's say, basic RPG gear-up system. So mostly the stuff that you pick up will be weapons and grenades and these kinds of basic action kind of gear. But it's a very intricate system that depends a lot on the basis of other games that they've done. So it should be feeling familiar to players of other games, but also it has a, let's say, easy to access level to it. So it's not the most Korean approach, but it's kind of a Finnish, utilitarian, but still deep. So very intricate, but still deep.
And then, aside from the weapons and the gear, we also have abilities, because the characters can gain experience point and progress their character. Like, they can unlock different abilities and unlock different perks. So the builds are not going to be the same for everybody. And when you play, you can kind of customize your character and the weapons and the gear. So quite a lot of things.
So one of the things, now you mentioned Diablo as well, and with customizing gear through loot pickups and that kind of stuff, is there going to be some roles for players to sort of play through, either a medic or a heavy gunner or something like that? Or is it kind of like the approach where everyone can do everything at all time?
So there is a little emphasis on roles. There are 3 different classes. Each class has up to 4 different active abilities that they can equip and use. The thing is that, of course, we have looked at it from the perspective that you don't really need different roles. So anybody can play as a single class, or you can mix the different classes. Most of their abilities, the main abilities, are defensive, so you can use things like shields or stealth and these kinds of things for the whole group.
Then we also, of course, we have some offensive one. Like for example, one of the characters can leave a trail of poison that will encircle an area, so all the enemies inside that area take damage. Or we have the exoskeleton, which is our tank guy. He has this super powerful ray that can pierce through even the strongest enemies. So there's a bit of everything.
Basically, you don't need to have any combination of classes, so you can play as any. They are very complementary to each other, but nobody needs to be the medic, if you will.
So you're not limited in any other sense, yeah. So this Housemarque has had a long publishing relationship with Sony. Maybe you can talk a bit about what it's like working with a major publisher as a smaller developer. It seems like you have a good publication history with a long list of exclusive titles.
Yes. So this is actually funny because it is the 20th anniversary year of Housemarque and PlayStation, so that gives a little bit of history into both companies. We've been working fairly exclusively with Sony for, let's say, past 7-8 years, starting from PS3 with Super Stardust HD, and then going on with a lot of really cool titles. And what it does to us is that it gives us a sort of a reliability, that we know what to expect from them. They give us a lot of QA, producing, design, visibility is really good. So it's a very reliable partner, and I think that it's a really good partner to have for the next 20 years also.
So a little note for the future as well. Maybe here, wrapping up, can you shed just a tiny bit of light on when players might be able to get their hands on Alienation?
So we'll actually be releasing a trailer with new footage, really gameplay footage, good stuff. In the trailer there will be a hidden message, and we will ask people to tweet that to Alienation PS4 hashtag. So there's something hidden in the trailer, let's just say that.
Thank you so much, and have a pleasant showing here at Paris Games Week.
And this is one of the mystery things.
And this is one of the mystery things.
Keep on the lookout.
Yeah. Keep on the lookout for Alienation, I would say.
Alienation,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.